Yes. Welcome everyone. My name is Nadia Popova, and today I want to talk with you about social media and its addictive side. To guide you through my presentation, I would like to tell you about the 4 aspects that I want to cover. Firstly, I want to tell you what inspired me to choose this topic. Secondly, I want to show you my most interesting and relevant insights of the problem, per se, what tools are used for it to be designed and how it's made. After, I would like to talk about consequences, and last but not least, I want to tell you why it is important to get rid of this problem and to be constantly aware of it. How many hours do you spend on your phone? I want to ask you to check your screen time right now, for a day, or even better, during a week. And also check how much from that time is social media usage. Yes? And I want to ask you to remember these numbers for later. How does it feel being stuck in a mental box? That's, oh my God. That's exactly how I felt when I was 17 years old. During COVID times, I was addicted to social media, especially TikTok, with over 12 hours a day of screen time for a month. I was locked in a living room apart from my family and felt lonely, depressed, and when it went to interactions with people, irritated, because I thought no one can understand me and all they try is to teach me something. I had no friends, no school or work, I didn't have any hobbies and I didn't do any sports. This was the dark times of my life. You may ask if it's better now. Yeah, it is. And the reason for that, I will explain later. This experience made me think that maybe I can make a change in the world. So this is what made me motivated to dive deeper into the problem. And now, I want to show you my most interesting and relevant insights. X time stolen equals Y money made. This is the formula on which the most popular social media is based on. The fact that fascinated me the most is that social media is not just addictive, as I thought might be a side effect to it at first. But more shockingly, it's designed this way. Every color, every figure, type of content, and even every movement of your finger is carefully designed by other professionals or AI. Social media is created this way to keep you engaged, so you watch more content, which means you watch more promotion, so company can make more money. Did you know that every third, fourth post on Instagram is sponsored? Which means that 25-33% of all the content you watch is ads. The purple part of the pie chart. Therefore, algorithm has 3 main goals. Engagement goal, to steal as much time as possible. Growth goal, to engage as many users as possible. And advertising goal, to show you as many ads as possible. The fact that made me mad about it, I was thinking about the values. What are the values that are being promoted in the content that we're watching every day? To be specific, I will use a theory from the popular and amazing book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. Its author, Mark Manson, states that there are 4 toxic values that create more problems than they solve. And they are pleasure, material success, always being right, and staying positive. Do you recognize them in social media content? Toxic values are short-term and attractive, which means that they will bring more money. However, they are destructive in a lot of other aspects. I would like to show you the tools that are being used for social media to be addictive. The answer is quite plain. It plays with our weaknesses and emotions, and I will give you 3 examples of that. Self-worth. Do you remember the feeling of excitement when you're waiting for likes and comments under your post? So, for recognition and appreciation from the society. Curiosity. The best example is tagging. Have you ever asked yourself, why can't you see the post in your notification when a person tags you? Why do you need to open the platform for that? And last but not least, it's a shield from our negative emotions. How often do you notice yourself grabbing your phone when you're bored or feeling awkward? Let's move to the consequences. I identified 2 levels of consequences. The first one is individual ones or local ones. And they are anxiety, social isolation, the ruining of relationships, depression, suicidal thoughts, suicides, and etc. For example, you can see on these 2 charts that from the year of 2009, the year when the social media became available on a cell phone, suicidal rates of the girls aged 15 to 90 years old increased up to 70% compared to previous years. And what is even more shockingly, younger girls aged from 10 till 14 started killing themselves more than 1.5 times more, up to 150%. The second level is worldwide or global consequences. In my opinion, there's one most important one. And this is polarization. Polarization is when people are so convinced with their own opinion that they see other ones as wrong or dangerous just because they're different from their own. And the danger of polarization can result in conflicts and global assault on a democracy. And you can see on these 2 charts how much more polarized American society became in 2017 compared to 2003. Now, let's talk about time. This is clock. It represents time. Time is one of few things people cannot reproduce, which makes it really valuable. Time is one of the reasons for all the progress we have to save time for more important things, right? "16 years. Think, what could or would you do in 16 years? And now I want to ask you to remember the numbers that I asked you from the start of my presentation. Can you believe that the average screen time of Americans is 7.5 hours a day, and for Europeans is 6 hours a day? Isn't that shocking? I want to share you one of my insights with you. If you spend 5 hours a day on your screen time from the age of 14 till 90 years old, you will spend 16 years of just screen time, which is the orange part of the pie chart. And this is more scary if considering that 30% of our life we sleep, as you can see on the blue part of the pie chart. Finally, I want to tell you about something important that unites us all and gives meaning to life. And very often, we forget about it. Let's talk about death. At the age of 18 years old, I faced the war. It happened around 5 o'clock in the morning on 24th of February, 2 years ago. The feeling of it I can describe as you're having panic attacks every day. You don't know when you're gonna die. You can die any second because no one knows where the rocket will explode. You may not wake up tomorrow morning and you may not see your family again. War helped me to realize death and to realize time. And the most essential was my value shifting. I realized how miserable all my problems were. Some stupid bloggers or ruining relationship with my family for the exchange of social media instant pleasure. Nothing became more important to me than my family, my loved ones. Nothing else. War was a starting point of my new life. It taught me to take responsibility for my actions, for my life, for my time, for my happiness, and for the happiness of the people that I love. Ever since, when I was being stuck on social media or feeling confused about anything in my life, in order to keep being on the right track, I was consciously asking myself, what is important to me and what are my values? And the more fascinating thing is that you actually don't need a war to start doing that. You're responsible for every choice you make. Every decision you make for something is always a decision against something else. And my only one and last question to you: what is important to you?